Hey, what's going on everybody? Long time no see. Today's video is going to be a fun one. I'm going to kind of do a sew along video. Now I know you're like, what? Sewing? I've shared sewing on the channel like very sporadically, and it's something that actually is kind of like a passion of mine. I really enjoy doing it and I just never share it, at least not in this way. So from here on out, I'm going to make an effort to share more of my sewing videos here on this channel. So if that doesn't work for you, hey, you know, to each his own, but that's the content I'll be giving you today. I don't intend this to be like a full-on tutorial because I'm literally just winging this. So what we're going to be trying to sew in this video with the assistance of this McCalls pattern here. It's R10625 if you're looking for it. We're going to take this top, which has like a cowl neckline. I think I'm going to use actually this one here, this pattern piece here. I think it's pattern C. We're going to use this, and along with a couple dress samples I have back here, to attempt to make a cowl neck, I think I'm going to do above the knee dress. I have this fabric that I thrifted about a year ago. It's beautiful, like lilac fabric with white polka dots. This drapes very beautifully and I can see it being like a gorgeous cowl neck dress. Hopefully with all three of those things combined, we can come up with something that's amazing. This may be a total fail, but you know, that's the fun of doing a sew along. We're going to see what happens and I'll share the steps along the way. So I guess without further ado, let's get started. So first up on the agenda is to read the instructions that come along with the pattern and decide what I need. So because I'm following pattern C and making some modifications, all I will be using is the front bodice pattern, the part of the back bodice pattern, and the part that becomes the strap / armhole facing. Okay, so this is the part where I have to get a little bit creative and kind of draft my own pattern using the existing patterns that I just cut out, because the back of the pattern piece that I was going to be, or that I'm using from McCalls, has a lace-up back, and whilst that is cute, I don't want to do that. So I have a part of this which is, you know, it's going to have a middle piece missing. Obviously if I were to mirror it, it would be too narrow on the back. So I'm going to take my dresses, my reference dresses here, and then use this and some craft wrapping paper and make a new pattern based off the back so I can have a back panel to this dress. I'm gonna have to make this longer, obviously, because I want it to be a full-length dress. So I'm going to have to, I think initially what I'm gonna do is just focus on the back panel of the top part first, and then go ahead and extend it into a full dress once I make the top panel part, because I want to make sure this actually works. I hope that made sense. If not, let me just break it down a little bit better via voiceover. So as you see here, I'm tracing out the back panel piece, and it's only half a piece because in the original pattern, the back of this dress is supposed to be a lace-up back. So I want to make it just one panel. I don't want to do a lace-up. So what I am doing is flipping that pattern piece over to the other side, tracing it, but also leaving a little space in what would be the middle of the dress so that the panels at least somewhat align in size. And then after that, what I'm going to do is just take my reference dress and extend that pattern to make it the length of the dress that I would want it to be. So I have cut out my pattern pieces and I've made my makeshift one that kind of extends what will be the back of the dress. So kind of like line it up like that. That would be. So it goes like that. What I'm just figuring out now is that this wants me to cut on the grain of the fabric, which is something new for me. I've never done. So I just watched a couple YouTube videos to figure that one out. And luckily this is wide enough that I should be able to cut out the full length that I want this dress to be. Hey guys, I'm back at my sewing machine after I have all the pieces cut out that I think I'll need. And I'm just going over the next steps in the pattern instructions. And what it wants me to do for the first step is hem this top, where is a curved edge here, hem this with a small edge, and then fold it over. They'll become the facing on the inside of the dress. So it's gonna look like this from the inside, and then drape like that on the outside. So then I fold that over, and then I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna just do a base stitch around what will become the armhole to keep it in place. Let me make sure. That seems to be the next step. Yeah. So after I do that, then what I do is sew these closed. Alright, so now that I've sewn that, this is the first one, here's the second one. I'm just using my loop turner to turn it inside out. A loop turner, especially once you master them, saves so much time. Just pulling it through like that. So I think what I need to do now is take the part that is still open, the part that we didn't sew, and then just fold it in ½ an inch and iron that down. And what I have to do now is take this front part here, and take the right sides of the fabric and sew it down, like of the straps, and sew it down like this so that it becomes attached to the front piece. So I'm gonna do that, sew that down, and then I guess I flip it back some way that makes it, I don't know. Okay, so I'm really excited because I actually did that. Like, I did that. I've never sewn straps like this in this way, and I did that, guys. Like, you can see it starting to take form. The next step for what I have to do is I'm gonna take the back panel, the back of the top panel, and just hem the top edge of it. And then the next and second to last step is I'm gonna take the two front panels, or the two panels of the dress, pretend this is the right sides, put them together, the right sides together, and sew down one edge completely, sew up the other side, and leave some space, about this invisible zipper's length worth of space, so that I can actually insert an invisible zipper. And then sew that, and then once that's in, it's pretty much almost done. All I will have to do is hem the bottom. So after putting this invisible zipper in, the next step is to sew up the other side of the dress. So the side that I have pinned, I'm just gonna sew this part up, make sure it fits like I want it. And the last thing will be just to hem the bottom of the dress. Actually, besides hemming the dress, you also need to attach the straps to the back panel of the dress. So I'm not gonna bore you with all that on camera. I'm just going to do it, and the dress is gonna be done. So soon enough, you're going to see a reveal.